Hey, everybody. It is July 15th, and, us teachers on break, we kind of lose track of what day it is. And I wanted to catch back up with everybody about what's going on. This video is going to be dedicated to talking about the liver issues that I'm facing. So, I have for years been told by doctors that you have a fatty liver, you have a fatty liver. It's something that, I don't know, I think I saw a statistic that like 25% of adults have a fatty liver. And so I wasn't that shocked. I wasn't that concerned. I mean, I'm a big girl. So a fatty liver, yeah, absolutely 100% believe that. And my liver enzymes were always just a little elevated, and I figured, well, that's what it is. But I started complaining of fatigue and not feeling as peppy and just really struggling with fatigue throughout my day. But when I went to my physical back in November, and the doctor said something about, maybe we need to look at that liver again. And I'd have to go back and look at the records. But years ago, it was some kind of a sonogram or whatnot on my liver. And they were like, yeah, you had a fatty liver. And that was the end of it. So finally, after a couple of snafus with scheduling at the gastroenterology department, no fault of theirs, no fault of mine. It was just a miscommunication. And finally got in towards the beginning of May for a FibroScan. Now, that checks the density and the elasticity of your liver. I don't know a lot about it. I'm still learning. But I came out with numbers that indicate my liver is an F3 liver. There's 4 designations. F3, it's F1, you get a nice healthy liver, you're good to go. F2, keep an eye on things. F3, oh shit. And then F4 would be when it has developed into non-alcoholic cirrhosis. So mine is an F3. At this point, they're saying that what's going on can, number one, be reversed, or at least stopped, slowed down, possibly reversed. The things I have to do is really keep my blood sugar consistent, no big spikes, which with type 2 diabetes can be a little hard, especially when you eat like I do. And also, follow a low fat kind of diet, increase your vegetables, decrease red meats and that kind of stuff. So I have seen a specialist, and she explained everything to me. It's not great news, but it hasn't developed all the way to cirrhosis. Right now, my liver enzymes are looking okay. If those get bad again, then we might be looking at a biopsy of the liver. Backstory is that my mother had cirrhosis of the liver, non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver, and she struggled a lot with the ammonia levels in her blood, and it would get, here in the last year and a half before she passed away, if her ammonia levels got really high, then she would get very confused. It would look very much like a dementia issue. However, it would come on very suddenly. So there was a couple of different times I ended up taking her to the hospital because she was not herself, and we were concerned about strokes or whatnot. But it all boiled down to her liver. Now, she refused treatment. She was, they wanted to do a biopsy, they wanted to do some things, and she was like, no, I'm too close to the end here. I do not want to undergo treatments that are going to be uncomfortable and invasive and so forth. So, yeah, that's what's going on with my liver. So now I do have a continuous glucose monitor, the Dexcom G7. I've had it for 2 weeks now. I'm kind of in love. It's nice to see how how my body reacts to different foods, and to monitor to make sure that I'm doing a good job keeping my blood sugar consistent and not letting it spike, or ride high for any length of time. I'm right now I'm kind of averaging around 90% of the time I'm in it within my limits. So that's encouraging. They're highly recommending the Mediterranean style diet, and so we're making a lot of changes around here. I'm blessed that Eric is willing to make those changes alongside me, and so therefore improving his health as well. If you happen to have any great suggestions or recipes for things that would follow that Mediterranean style diet, love to have them. So we met with the dietitian. We met for an hour and a half, and really got down to the nitty gritties of refining how we're feeding our bodies here. It's challenging when you happen to have a picky eater in the house, but we are accepting the fact that there are going to be times that we have to fix something separate because what we've chosen to eat is not something that our young man in the house would particularly enjoy or be willing to eat. So, yeah, that's that. I do have other updates, but I'm gonna let this one lay, and then I should have some more info on the leukemia stuff in a little while. Thanks for listening.